this is one more whisper. I haven't been around for a while, apologies there. I'm sure I wasn't missed. I'm joking. Well, I'm not, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I haven't really got a reason why I've been away. Just been doing lots, had a lot on, some good, some not so good. And part of me was also just waiting for some inspiration to do a good video, and tonight I think I found something that made me want to make a video. And I also apologise. I've got a cold at the moment, and so if my voice isn't very nice to listen to, I'm really sorry about that. Hopefully it isn't too bad. But yeah, the video I wanted to make tonight is basically about my certain things that I think, positive things, and some philosophies I have on life in general. Now, I'm going to stress that I'm only 21. I've only ever had a part-time job, and therefore I'm nowhere near an expert on life, on happiness, I'm not an expert at all on anything, and I'm not someone who believes that everybody should take heed of what I'm saying at all. But these are things that help me feel a little better about things, help me enjoy life a little more. And I really hope that, if just one person can take something from this video, then that would be great. And if you don't agree with the things I'm saying, then that's absolutely fine, I probably am wrong or whatever, but like I say, if one person takes something out of it, just makes their life a little better, then that's great. So the first thing really is calmness. It's something that I sort of realised quite recently, really, that the importance of trying to stay calm. Because I think if you're calm, then you can handle very many situations, a wide variety of situations that can be troubling. Obviously, there are situations in life where you're going to get anxious, troubled, tense. Some things do cause those feelings, and rightly so. Life isn't always an easy ride, but if you can do your best to stay calm throughout your day-to-day life, then you can get through a lot of situations. Because sometimes thinking straight by staying calm is more likely to solve the situation than getting into fretting and panicking about it. And let's face it, when you've got a problem, everyone wants to solve it as quickly as they can. And for me, I personally think that the quickest way to solve a problem is by being calm. So that's the first thing. The second thing I wanted to talk about is trying to enjoy the little things. And by little I really do mean the tiny things you do every day that go unnoticed. I actually got first thought of this idea when watched Saw 3, I think it was, and now I know it's really strange to get a positive affirmation from a Saw movie or any horror movie, but I did. And it's there's a bit in Saw 3 when Jigsaw, who is dying of a terminal illness, he's explaining to someone how he appreciates something so simple as having a glass of water. And that speech did strike a chord with me, actually, because it sort of made me realise that, having something as simple as water or anything such as lying down in bed at night, having a 5-minute sit down, having a conversation with a family member or a friend, things that we do every day without thinking. And I don't want to use the phrase take for granted, because that sort of implies guilt, and I really don't want to do that, because of course we're going to think nothing of having water or having a meal, because we do it so often, it's natural. So I wouldn't say we shouldn't take things for granted, but what I do think is if you're able and if you try just to enjoy every little thing, then how much better is life going to be? I mean, it certainly makes me feel happier. Just sitting down, going for a walk, or anything, a meal, just enjoying whatever's happening at that moment, as long as it isn't anything unpleasant, even if it's just fresh air. Then surely life can be more enjoyable. On the other side of that, which brings me to the third thing that I would want to talk about. I hear a lot of people say things like, there's always someone worse off, or think of kids in Africa with no food. You hear that a lot when people are talking about their own problems. And on one level it's true, because some problems are worse than others. If you've got someone who's just broken up with their partner, and someone who's dying in the third world of starvation, obviously the latter is far more serious. However, what I've come to realise is that problems and troubles are relative. And what that means is, the third world child is certainly in a worse predicament than someone who's, say, just come out of a relationship, or even something like can't find a job. But to that person who's lost their job or lost their partner, that is their problem, and that is all they know. They, or we, can't relate to third world issues if we haven't experienced them. We may see them on TV, but that's where it ends, really. And I find that telling someone your problems aren't as serious as someone else's doesn't really help them. Because if that's as bad a problem as they know, then that's a bad problem to that person. That's just what I think. So one last thing, quickly. Another thing I find that I don't like to hear really is when people say that you should enjoy every second. It's a bit like what I said earlier about when you say don't take things for granted, and it sort of implies guilt. Because every time someone says to me, oh, don't waste a second of your life, I think, oh well, I spent 2 hours playing a computer game last night, so I wasted 2 hours. You know, what is wasting life? I'm not sure is wasting life, you know. Playing computer games and doing things which have no meaning. Or, you know, if someone was to live life to the full every second, does that mean they're out every minute of the day and bungee jumping all the time, going on holiday? Is that making the most of life? I'm not sure. I don't really know the answer. But it makes me feel bad when I hear that, because I think, oh my god, perhaps I should be doing more. But although I think I do enough to make my life meaningful. But I like to think of making the most of life as appreciating it. And that doesn't mean I have to be really busy all the time, and it doesn't mean I have to be happy all the time, because no one's ever happy all the time. But it just means that I accept that a life is a gift, because it is, and that I want to use that gift in a positive way. And even if I'm not doing anything at that moment in time, or even if I'm not happy in that moment in time, I think having the will to enjoy life and wanting to enjoy it really is as important as the actual act of enjoying it. Because you're appreciating life, and that's, for me, the most important thing. But anyway, I think I've talked enough. I've said what I've meant to say, and things haven't come out wrong. I've got a habit of doing that. But yeah, if you don't agree with what I've said in this video, then that's fine. There's no need to tell me. Just don't worry about it, because I'm just a young male who's just talking. That's all it is.